Hey guys, Jason here for Chart Guys. We're going to take a look at OSTK. If you haven't watched our videos before, you don't really know what the Chart Guys is all about. We are a community that just talks and teaches and learns and shares technical analysis and charts. And if you want to learn how to read charts the way we read charts and talk about this cool stuff with a lot of awesome people, check out chartguys.com. That's my pitch. Let's get into it. So on the daily time frame, we had a pretty big drop today. We had a volume climax yesterday on Friday, and now we're seeing some follow through. We have EMA 26 support with a Marabuzzo close. A Marabuzzo close suggests that there's a lot of momentum, and I don't think you need anyone to tell you that just based on this candlestick. We closed at the low a day, and there's just lots and lots of downside pressure. We would expect to see more continuation tomorrow, but we need to be aware of our RSI, which is an indicator that represents if something is overbought or oversold. So you can have something with a lot of bearish pressure, but if it's moved too far to one direction, you can expect it to sort of bounce back a little bit. So looking at the daily time frame, our RSI is recovering from that overbought condition, and it's currently right in the middle of the pack. Going to the 4-hour time frame, you can see our indecision candlesticks. These guys are dojis. They represent indecision. These two candlesticks show a lot of strength. They're big, they're strong, they're green. These guys are nice and tight. They show indecision, and even though they occurred after hours, it does represent that moment of balance where the scales can be tipped, and we see that drop down here. So our RSI is not oversold on the 4-hour time frame yet. We're sitting at 40.06, so still some room to go on the downside. And on the hourly time frame, things start to get interesting. We had a very, very substantial drop today. Not a lot of stair-step action on the hourly. And now in after hours, we're setting up in what is called a hourly bear flag. And that is when you see a big drop. Let's draw it over here. A big drop, and you see a channel that contains all of your action. So here's your drop, and then this is the area you start to see all of that beautiful consolidation. However, the thing to note on this bear flag is that it's a continuation pattern, which suggests that we will just simply see more drop to come. Now this is where we start to balance between our oversold levels. So we are oversold on the hourly time frame, which means we're not going to expect to see the same level of drop that we saw here to get us into this position. In fact, we may just drop to our next support level, which is around 18. That would be a very, very good target, and it wouldn't be out of question for us to get down there on the hourly time frame, especially if we do so in a more meandering way that allows that RSI level to cool off, because it only looks at the last 14 candlesticks. So if we drop slowly, then that RSI level will have an opportunity to rise up, and that's called consolidation. Now, the opposite So now what we're going to look for is the alternative scenario. Should we drop down to 1802? Great, we got to play on our bear flag. We'll look for a long position at that time. If we find nice support and get a good trend line, a trend change, which is going to be a change between how we establish lower highs and lower lows to higher lows and higher highs. Pretty simple in concept, harder to work out in execution. But it's what we look for when we reach these support levels. So let's say bulls can turn things around. What we're going to need to see is a 15-minute trend change. We're going to need to see some strength, and we're going to need to see it in a big way because we are massively oversold on the 15-minute time frame, and we've not really established much in the way of support resistance here, and we need to carve that out. The first thing we're going to look for is for us to break over these two lines. This is our EMA 26 and our EMA 12. Establish a high, and we want to start carving out that sort of action. If we're able to do that, we'll go back to our hourly time frame. That'll have us getting out of this bear flag, and then on the hourly time frame, it's going to look a little bit different. We're going to come up, and then we're going to set a new low and a new high and a new low, and etc. So that is a more further into the future. Let's focus on what's happening right now in Overstock. Let's see how this potential bear flag plays out. We have that support at 1802. We'll check back in tomorrow. And if you want to learn more about technical analysis, please check out chartguys.com. And in fact, just do some Googling. There are a lot of resources out there. And if you guys have questions and you don't want to pay for it, and you don't want to be in a membership, and you do want to learn technical analysis, please just email me, info@TheChartGuys.com. I want everyone to learn. I'll do my very best to help you. That's it. Have a good day. Good luck. Use your stop losses, and take care of your accounts.